Well, hello there, everyone. How are you doing on this fabulous Saturday? Super Saturday. It's November the 4th, year 2023. Yes, it is. And remember, it's 90% mental. Yep, 90% mental. Almost everything we do is 90% mental. And why do I say that? And before I get started, I'll explain that to you in just a moment. Before I get started, I'm Mazske Finance. I'm coming to you from the country of Panama, where they still have a lot of protests going on. If you want me to talk a little about Panama and the protests, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll make a video sometime soon about talking about what all is transpiring here in the country of Panama. So with that being said, I'm Mazske Finance. I am not a CPA. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a lawyer. Not a financial advisor, whatever. I'm losing track of what I said. And I'm not a doctor. I'm a nutritionist. So it's 90% mental as I sit here with my cup of green tea. What do I mean by that? I'll explain. All right, I watched a video the other day, a short 2.5 minute, 3-minute video on Gunnar Henderson. Gunnar Henderson is shortstop / third baseman on the Baltimore Orioles. He had his rookie season this past year and had an outstanding season. He won an award just the other day, voted on by his peers, by fellow baseball players, as the top American League Rookie of the Year, something like that. And they had a video with a lot of ball players, big names in baseball, talking about him. And Gunnar was in the video too. And near the end of the video, Gunnar made a comment. Gunnar's a young guy, he's only like 22 years old. Gunnar made a comment that playing baseball, he has learned, is about 90% mental. Now, you may or may not believe that. You might think, oh, to be a professional athlete, you got to be buff, you got to be fast, you got to be strong, you got to visual acuity to see that ball spinning as it's coming in if you're a hitter, or to dribble that ball and shoot it, or to hit the puck, or whatever it may be. You got to be physically blessed. But Gunnar, who is physically blessed, says the game is 90% mental. Mazske, who's sitting here, the blue-collar guy who never made a lot of money in his life and who is now a multi-millionaire, says the game of investing is 90% mental. Okay? It's not being born with deep pockets and a silver spoon in your mouth. Same with living healthy. If you want to live to be 100 years old, the folks who do, they're not just physically blessed, it's 90% mental. Let me ask you this. A lot of you out there who watch my videos, you don't comment. I don't know you. But a lot of you are probably saying to yourself, I can't even buy my first house. Or I can't eat healthy, like Mazske says, because there's so much temptation out there. All right, let me ask you this. How hard is it to make a daily cup of green tea? Really? Even if you don't make a lot of money, you can buy a box of organic green tea bags for $4 or $5. Might be 20 tea bags in there. You could buy, like I do, ground green tea, and it might cost you $20, $25 with shipping, or $30, whatever it was. And it has a quarter teaspoon, makes a daily cup, and it'll make a total of 90 cups or something, 80 cups, 90 cups, something like that. So it's not a huge expense. It's just a minuscule change in your life. But by making that minuscule change, you've turned a switch on. If you make one change, you can make another. Just like if you buy one rental house, you can buy another. All right, if you start drinking a daily cup of green tea, maybe you combine that with a small handful of walnuts, or cashews, or almonds, or pecans, or macadamia nuts, or Brazil nuts. They're all healthy for you. Maybe you do like I did. Today's a Saturday, for if maybe you're a Monday through Friday worker and you're off on Saturday. My breakfast this morning, and I was half asleep. Well, let me tell you what I did, because it's 90% mental. I got up this morning, still very much asleep, went into the restroom like I do, like all of us do, and then I came out, I got a glass out of the cabinet, I got my pink Himalayan salt shaker that has like the grinder thing, you twist it, because pink Himalayan salt is good for you. I put some in the glass. I took a small lemon, I think it was lemon, lime, or a little, they got different fruit here in Panama too, I think it was the lemon I got, small lemon out of the fridge, I cut it in half, I cut it in quarters. I used 2 of the quarters, so half the lemon, squeezed it, put it in my glass. I then went over into a different little room, It's the laundry room. We have a hot cold water dispenser there. Those big giant jugs we get, we put them in there and filled my glass up with cold water. Okay, I made a second one for the missus too. And drank that on an empty stomach. Because if you watch videos by Motivational Doc, he has video on the health benefits of drinking, first of all, just drinking a glass of water first thing when you get out of bed before you eat anything. Also the health benefits of pink Himalayan salt and lemon or lime in your water with the salt. And you drink it on an empty stomach. And it's just your body, as he says, your body will love you for it. So if you can do that every day, it takes what, 2 minutes? Okay. Lemons, I know, it depends on where you're at in the country. They can get a little expensive. Where I'm at, I can buy 10 lemons for $1. Okay, so the other day, because of the protest, I bought 20 lemons for $2 just so we'd have enough. Okay, so that's something I did. The second thing I did, and I'll move on talking about financial stuff too, I have a routine of 3 different breakfasts I rotate through normally. Today was egg day. I took out the cutting board, and it's just a small cutting board that I have. I got some red onion. I got some red pepper. I got 4 or 5 garlic cloves. I got the mushrooms out, and I got a little bit of ginger. And I diced everything up. Oh, meanwhile, before I did that, I made a pot of coffee with nice, fresh Panamanian coffee. Delicious coffee. Coffee has a variety of health benefits. In my coffee cup, I put a little sprig of black pepper, turmeric, cinnamon. I don't have any ginger like powder, spice to put in, so I didn't put any ginger in. I haven't found that yet here in Panama. I find fresh ginger, but not the little tiny ones you shake out. So just black pepper, turmeric, and cinnamon in my coffee cup. And soy milk, unsweetened soy milk. But then I diced up all those veggies, put them in extra virgin olive oil that was heating on my stove, which is a gas stove. I know in the States it's controversial a little bit about gas stoves right now. Got a gas stove. And sauteed it. One at a time, I put the onions and red pepper first, let them soften up a little bit. Then I added the cut up mushrooms. I had 5 big mushrooms, and I've added them. Meanwhile, I added more pink Himalayan salt, I added pepper, I added turmeric, I added organic thyme, a little bit of curry, a little bit of oregano, and I think something else. And then I ended up putting 2 eggs in, natural eggs, cage-free type chickens, and scrambled it all up in there. This is a little process. It takes 10-15 minutes probably. And scrambled it all up in there. Towards the end of the cooking, I added my diced up garlic and diced up ginger. Because you don't need to cook garlic a lot. You don't need to cook ginger a lot. So I put it on at the end and made it. And then, meanwhile, I got some blueberries out of the fridge, cleaned them off, put them on my plate. Big handful of blueberries. Put them all on my plate. Eggs were done. Scraped it on top of blueberries. Mixed it up. Sat down, had my second cup of coffee, and ate the eggs with the veggies in there, and it was oh so delicious. Nourishing. And my body loved me for it. Meanwhile, I sit here with my cup of green tea. Meanwhile, you're sitting there thinking probably, Mazske, don't be a fool. We're tuning in to learn about investing. Okay, I hear you. Did you watch my last video with Chad Carson? Chad Carson gave a wealth of information in that video, small and mighty real estate investor. Are you a small and mighty real estate investor, or are you chasing the millions and billions of dollars that you want? Okay, be the small and mighty real estate investor. And as Michael Zuber says, one house at a time. As John Schwab did, one rental at a time. And just go slow. Take your time. Don't be in a hurry. The economy is cyclical. Right now we have high interest rates. It's harder to get a loan. But you can still find deals out there. So in the meantime, stockpile cash. Save your nickels, dimes, quarters, dollars. Just put them away. Put them in a high yield savings account. Get one somewhere. I use Wealthfront. They raised their base rate to 5% now. And I'm getting like 5.5%. If you want a referral, let me know. I'll email you a referral so you can get that extra boost, that 5.5%. All right. Meanwhile, I use credit cards with almost every time I spend money also to get the credit card points. Chad Carson said one sentence about travel hacking in that interview with him. I have been travel hacking since 2018. I've taken so many free trips, free hotel rooms, free restaurant meals, free rental cars, free Airbnbs, free airplane tickets, and so on and so on. I've flown to California, I've flown to Panama, I've flown to Connecticut, I've flown to Florida, so on and so on and so on. And meanwhile, I keep plugging away, saving my nickels, dimes, quarters, dollars. My pension comes in once a month. I immediately transfer money from where my pension comes in to my Wealthfront account. I get rent in several different times during the month. It comes into one bank, but I end up moving it around. I have to pay bills out of a certain account. I got to do this, got to do that. I get rent in from my property managers into a bank. I get oil mineral rights money that comes in. I get oil drilling working interest money that comes in. And it all comes into certain banks, and sometimes I move it, sometimes I keep it there. But usually what I do, I don't let the cash accumulate. I buy an investment. If interest rates are high and I'm living outside the United States, it's hard for me to buy a rental house because I can't get my signature notarized here unless it's an electronic notary, and not everybody's using electronic notary yet. So what can I easily buy? I can buy mineral rights acres. So I've been buying some mineral rights acreage. I mentioned it the other day in a video, I made a investment in tequila distillery type investment. So I made that investment, and that's an interesting one. If you want, I can talk generics about it. I can't talk specifics about it, but I can talk generics about it in some future video if you want. So, but investing, don't make it harder than it is. It's 90% mental. All right, everything is 90% mental. Look at successful people in life. Sure, some of them are physically blessed with their good looks or their muscular build or their fast speed, but so are a lot of other people. And it's the ones that have it right up here. Not everybody has it right up here. Some people are just blessed, get lucky breaks, and they make millions from being the way they look with no substance. But for the most people, it's up here. We've talked about it. I've had videos with Millennial Mike and other folks, and we talk about having that determination, that grit, the perseverance, because times will get tough. Times get tough with everything. And times get tough with your partner. Times will get tough with your parents. Times will get tough with your kids. Times will get tough with your investments, with your tenants, with your mechanic, with contractors, and so on and so on. So you got to have grit and determination and willpower, and you got to have that internal motivation. I think Chad Carson mentioned something about being motivated. Meanwhile, it comes back to the basics. Have you had a cup of green tea today? If you're worried about caffeine, get decaffeinated tea. If you don't want caffeine, get decaffeinated coffee. We have a jar of decaffeinated instant coffee in there. We might get an afternoon cup of coffee sometimes, and we make instant decaffeinated coffee. Still good for you. Okay? I got blueberries in there. I got spices in there. I'm in the country of Panama. I can still buy turmeric. I can still buy blueberries. I can buy mushrooms. So if you're in the United States, you can probably buy them as well. I might buy some PIFA, which maybe you can't buy that in the United States. I might buy some little tiny lemons that have like an orange color inside that look kind of like a little baby orange. They taste more towards an orange than a lemon, but they're not an orange. And as far as I know, they're not in the United States, but they're here in Panama. And there's other products that are here in Panama. We got this. This is in the United States, and I'll wrap this video up with this last thing. We eat a lot of salads. And as of yet, we haven't found, well, I have found a little bit, but organic greenery, lettuce and that sort of thing. It's harder to find here. So if we buy just lettuce, we don't know what the farmers put on it, so we like to wash it. Okay, washing lettuce in the States, when I did it before, it's kind of a pain. The lettuce is wet and it's just kind of a pain. And when you get a rental in Panama, this rental house I got, this casita I'm in, is fully furnished. Like, there's a picture on the wall. I didn't buy that picture. I didn't buy the table that this stand is on. I didn't buy this chair. I didn't buy this bed that's next to me. I didn't, build this casita. I didn't buy all that stuff up there. There's a ring up there for the pool. Got to pull it down sometime. I didn't buy all that. I didn't buy anything in the house except for our personal stuff. Because in Panama, when you get a rental, it's fully furnished, fully decorated, 80 to 90% of the time. Not 100% of the time, but 80 to 90% of the time, fully decorated. Okay, so, but if I can find, the one thing I found though is a little spinning device. We can put our lettuce in a little bowl that has all the holes in it, like a sieve, and rinse it off the water. Just put water in there, shake the excess off, put it in another container, put the lid on it, and just do this, and it spins it dry. And then whatever I put in there are broccoli sprouts. I can find broccoli sprouts in my local grocery store. I couldn't find them in the States. Okay, broccoli sprouts, lettuce and baby lettuce and this and whatever. And I get it clean and dry, and then we put it in our bowl and we eat it. So it's 90% mental. Everything in life is 90% mental. Think about your job. It's 90% mental. Yes, some of that 90% mental might be learning spreadsheets or learning how to do computer programming, but it's 90% mental. Everything. If you want to be an investor, it's 90% mental. If you want to eat healthy, it's 90% mental. If you want to work out 5 days a week, it's 90% mental. You don't need to go buy fancy equipment or join a gym, but a lot of people need to join a gym for that external motivation. But it's up here, 90% mental. All right, so that being said, I'm gonna stop. My videos take a long time to upload here. For some reason, I got a fast internet connection, but still it takes a long time. So I'm gonna wrap this up. Have a great Super Saturday wherever you are, or whatever day you're seeing this. Have a great day, love life, and just make those small changes the best you can for everything you want to do. See ya.